Hello and welcome to another episode of my science mode playthrough of Kerbal Space Program in the Je Nais Se Quoi planet pack. In this video, I will be using a nuclear powered tug to send a truss up to my space station and orbit around Minmus as part of an expansion that will allow it to fuel interplanetary manned missions. The way this works is that the payload is launched separately and then the tug rendezvous with it, sends it to Minmus, and then returns to low Kerbal orbit to grab the next module and do the same with it, with a little bit of refueling between payloads. At least that is how it was supposed to go, but unfortunately I didn't go into the VAB and check the delta V of this thing by putting the truss on the tug and seeing what the new delta V would be after that. So rather than design a new tug that would be guaranteed to work, I took chances, gave things a chance to go wrong, Murphy's Law proved itself, and I wasted an entire episode trying to get a truss to Minmus. So after the tug got to its payload, I tried to set up a maneuver to get this thing to Minmus, and realized it didn't have enough fuel. Unaware of the design not being up to the task, I figured it had spent most of its fuel getting to orbit and rendezvousing with the truss, so I launched a rocket with a fuel refill and a nuclear reactor. The tug uses liquid hydrogen as a fuel. This is a problem because over time the LH2 is lost to boil off. This problem can be mitigated by coolers that use electric charge, and while this isn't an issue on the day's side of whatever the tug is orbiting around, as its solar panels can generate enough power to run the cooler, the night side is a different story as the batteries don't store enough electricity to keep the cooler running without completely draining the power from them. The nuclear reactor deals with this problem by being able to power the tug regardless of lighting, and if you say fuel cells have the same benefit while being safer, then chances are your parents don't love you. Once it is done rendezvousing with the tug, the LH2 and reactors stay in place while the tug docks itself to the refill via the docking port on the reactor. When it is done refueling, the reactor is removed from the stage that carried it up. The tug then undocks from the truss and docks to the reactor using the port opposite of the one that connects it to the truss. This is so that when the truss is docked to the station, the tug will be able to undock from the truss with the reactor still attached. I have no intention of ending this part of the voiceover with me violating your eardrums by putting my mouth close to the mic, or making remarks about you not being loved by your parents over disagreeing with my questionable design choices. However, this is my video, and I could do that whenever I want. So maybe you could show me some gratitude for the fact I'm not doing that to you by liking this video or maybe even subscribing. Okay, all jokes aside, it would be greatly appreciated if you did those things. If you were paying attention to the video while I was jokingly attempting to guilt trip you into liking and subscribing, then you may have noticed my last-ditch effort to get the tug to work by adding an extra LH2 tank. Needless to say, that didn't work, so I launched a bigger nuclear tug that would be able to get the truss to Minmus. After the first tug was relieved of its payload, I realized that the truss was missing a hub module that was supposed to have docking ports for the other parts of the expansion to connect to the station with. So I launched said hub on the rocket you see here. I noticed that the hub was so light that it would be overkill to launch it on any of the Athena rockets. So I gave the bore booster the Zenit treatment and made it its own rocket. Zenit being a rocket that was originally the boosters of the Soviet Energia rocket used to launch their Buran shuttle. Once the hub docked to it, the new tug got the truss to Minmus and docked it to Athens Station. Due to the low thrust-to-weight ratio of the tug, multiple burns had to be done to get this thing to Minmus. However, it didn't have enough fuel to get back to Kerbin, so I'm just going to leave it docked to the station until I figure out what to do with it. On screen, you can see what version of Kerbal Space Program I am playing in and my mod list. This information is also in the description, so you don't have to pause over and over again if you want to do a playthrough similar to mine. If you enjoyed this video, please consider leaving a like or dislike it if you had a problem with it. If you didn't like something about this video, then please leave a comment below detailing your complaint, as I am open to criticism and would like to know what not to do going forwards. I also wouldn't mind being told what was good about this video so I know what to continue to do. And if you really enjoyed this video, then please consider subscribing and enabling all notifications so you never miss an upload of mine. And with that being said, that is all from me for now. Goodbye.